Europe is a continent full of diversity, charm, and wonder. And there's no better way to explore it than by visiting some of its most iconic cities. Whether you're looking for a short city break, a weekend getaway, or just a day trip, this video will give you some great insights on what to see and do in these amazing destinations. Hi everyone, I'm Annie, and today I'm going to reveal the top 10 iconic European cities to visit. You'll discover some of the secrets, stories, and surprises that these cities have to offer. I can tell you that they are all amazing in their own way. And if you stick around to the end, I'm going to share with you how you can skip the queues, get the lowest prices for tickets, and make sure you have everything you need so you won't miss out on any of the must-see places. So, are you ready to join me? Let's go! First up is London, the capital of the UK and one of the most visited cities on the planet. London is a city that has something for everyone, from history and culture to entertainment and shopping. It's a city that never sleeps and always surprises. London is full of iconic landmarks, such as Big Ben, Westminster Abbey, the Tower of London, Tower Bridge, and Trafalgar Square. London is also home to several royal palaces and plenty of public parks. The most famous, of course, being Buckingham Palace, but also take a walk through Hyde Park to see Kensington Palace, or explore a bit further afield to visit Windsor Castle or the Tudor Palace of Henry VIII, Hampton Court. London is a cultural and historical hub where you can find some of the best museums and galleries in the world. The British Museum and the Natural History Museum are two of my favourites. The West End is heaven for theatre lovers, where you can watch some of the world's best musicals and theatre productions, or simply soak up the atmosphere and watch the street performers in Covent Garden. If you're a fan of Shakespeare, you can also visit the Globe Theatre, a reconstruction of the Elizabethan theatre where his plays were performed. And if you want a panoramic view of the city, one not to miss attraction is the London Eye. My top tip here though is definitely book in advance. Also, take a stroll along the South Bank, where you'll find lively restaurants, bars, and the Tate Modern Art Gallery. One thing I love about London is that everything is so close together. You can easily walk between most of the major landmarks. Or, if the weather's bad, use the famous London Underground. And did you know London is actually one of the world's largest urban forests, containing an estimated 8.4 million trees? Who knew? For such a busy city, it certainly has plenty of green space to relax, walk, and enjoy. The second city on my list is Venice, the city of canals and romance. Venice is unlike any other city in the world, as it's built on islands, 118 to be exact. Joined by canals, Venice is a masterpiece of engineering and art, where you can admire the beauty of its architecture and the charm of its waterways. Take a gondola ride along the canals, visit St. Mark's Square, where you can see the stunning basilica, a Byzantine church that is the symbol of Venice. You can also climb the Campanile di San Marco, the bell tower that offers a view of the city. Visit the Rialto Bridge, the oldest and most famous bridge over the Grand Canal, Doge's Palace, and the Bridge of Sighs. And don't miss the Basilica di Santa Maria della Salute, a majestic church on the Grand Canal. Venice is a city that has so much to offer, but it can also be very crowded, so plan your visit carefully. The best time to visit is in the spring or the autumn, when the weather is mild and the crowds are smaller. Venice is a walkable city, but one of the best way to get around is by using the Vaporetto, the water bus that runs along the canals and connects the islands. Other hidden gems that you can discover include the Scala Contarini del Bovolo, a spiral staircase that leads to a terrace, and the Libreria Acqua Alta, a quirky bookstore that keeps its books in bathtubs and boats to protect them from flooding. Venice is a totally unique and captivating city, full of life, history, and art. And if you have a little more time to spare, book a day trip to the beautiful Dolomite Mountains and Lake Braze. Located just north of Venice, you'll experience the most spellbinding alpine scenery in Italy. Admire the soaring peaks, crystalline lakes, and postcard-perfect towns, most of which are inaccessible by public transportation. Next on my list is Paris, one of the most beautiful and romantic cities in the world, where you can enjoy the stunning views, the exquisite cuisine, and the rich culture. Paris is full of iconic monuments: the Eiffel Tower, the Arc de Triomphe, Notre Dame Cathedral, tragically damaged by fire in 2019, the Palace of Versailles, once the seat of the French monarchy, and the Place de la Concorde, where the guillotine was used during the French Revolution. Paris is also home to some of the most famous museums and galleries in the world, such as the Louvre, home to the Mona Lisa, or the Musée d'Orsay, where you'll be able to see Impressionist and Post-Impressionist paintings by Monet, Renoir, and Van Gogh. Another is the Centre Pompidou, the modern art museum that has a futuristic design and a colourful facade. You can also visit the Montmartre, the hilltop district, that was the home of many famous artists such as Picasso, Dali, and Renoir. Along the Champs-Élysées, the most famous avenue in Paris, you will find luxury shops, cafes, and cinemas. And if you're looking for entertainment, you can also watch a show at the Moulin Rouge, the legendary cabaret. My favourite is to take a boat trip along the River Seine on the Bateau Mouche riverboats, where you'll get a scenic view of all the key sites of the city. And if you're looking for some green space, you can relax at the Jardin des Tuileries, the elegant garden that was created by Catherine de' Medici in the 16th century. If you want to see the Eiffel Tower sparkle, you can watch it every hour on the hour after sunset, when 20,000 light bulbs flash for 5 minutes. Did you know there's a secret apartment at the top of the Eiffel Tower, where the engineer Gustave Eiffel used to entertain his guests? And for families, Disneyland Paris is just around 30 minutes from the center of Paris, where you can experience the Disney magic you know and love, with attractions, shows, and parades. Next stop, Budapest, the capital of Hungary, a vibrant city full of history and culture. Straddling the Danube River, Budapest is often referred to as the Queen of the Danube, and you can enjoy its beautiful architecture and historic landmarks. The city buzzes with creativity, which spills over into the vibrant nightlife. Revelers will love the Ruined Bars district, a unique and vibrant part of the city, renowned for its vibrant ruined pubs, set in dilapidated buildings and courtyards, offering a unique nightlife scene. Buda Castle, perched atop Castle Hill on the Buda side, and Fisherman's Bastion, with its fairy tale turrets, offer panoramic views of the city. The iconic chain bridge connects Buda and Pest, the two sides of the city, creating a picturesque link between the medieval and modern. The city's famous thermal baths provide a relaxing experience in opulent surroundings, while Andrassy Avenue is lined with elegant neo-Renaissance buildings, luxury boutiques and theatres, leading to Heroes Square, a monument celebrating Hungary's history. The Hungarian Parliament building, a neo-Gothic masterpiece, graces the Pest side of the Danube and is particularly enchanting when illuminated at night. Why not treat yourself to a night river cruise, where you can view Budapest's floodlit landmarks by boat? You can enjoy a glass of wine or a meal while you admire the cityscapes as you cruise by the Hungarian Parliament and Buda Castle district, twinkling with lights, and sail under the illuminated chain bridge and other bridges. And I bet you didn't know, Budapest has the second oldest subway line in the world after London. The Millennium Underground Railway, also known as Metro Line 1, was opened in 1896. The city's rich tapestry of history, coupled with its vibrant contemporary culture, makes Budapest a captivating destination for those seeking a blend of old-world charm and modern sophistication. Next stop, Barcelona, the capital of Catalonia and one of the most vibrant cities in Spain. Barcelona is a city that combines the old and the new, the traditional and the modern, and will captivate you with its charm, energy, and diversity. The architect Antoni Gaudí left his mark all over the city with his unique and colorful style. Some of his most famous creations are the Sagrada Familia, the still unfinished basilica that is the symbol of Barcelona, the Parc Güell that offers a panoramic view of the city, the Casa Batlló, one of Barcelona's most intriguing buildings, nicknamed the House of Bones for its contorted window frames and skeletal pillars, and the equally unusual Casa Mila, another Gaudí creation with its wave-like stone exterior. Barcelona's Gothic quarter dates back to the Middle Ages, and the neighborhood's age is evident in its narrow, winding roads, shaded plazas, and beautiful architecture, including 3 major cathedrals. Find hidden gems tucked away in the nooks and crannies. Think trendy restaurants, bars, and boutique shops. Close by is Las Ramblas, Barcelona's most famous street, a tree-shaded pedestrian expanse that's a microcosm of Barcelona, and it's almost always busy, day or night. Barcelona is bursting with museums and galleries, including the Picasso Museum, where you can see the works of the famous painter. And don't miss the Plaça de Catalunya, the main square of the city, where many events and celebrations take place. And the Barceloneta beach. If time allows, take a half-day excursion to Montserrat Mountain. The Deserted Mountain is a unique rock formation 30 miles northwest of Barcelona. It has a Benedictine monastery with a 12th century statue of La Moreneta, the Black Madonna, the patron saint of Catalonia. The mountain is a Catholic pilgrimage site and offers stunning views from its peaks. How are you enjoying my countdown so far? Don't forget to like and subscribe so you can be the first to see more city guides like this. And remember to stay till the end for that essential info on how to make sure you get the most out of your trip, skip the queues, and don't miss out on any of the must-see places. Next, we're visiting Amsterdam, the capital of the Netherlands and one of Europe's most popular and easy-to-visit cities, with canals, striking architecture, culture-filled museums, and beautiful parks, all crisscrossed by cycle-friendly streets and bridges decorated with tulips. Amsterdam is known as the Venice of the North because of its canals that encircle the old city centre. You can take a canal cruise or rent a bike and explore the city from a different perspective. Amsterdam is of course well known for bicycles, the preferred mode of transport for many local people. In fact, Amsterdam has more bicycles than people. You can also see the windmills that showcase the Dutch heritage. And don't miss the Bloemenmarkt, the floating flower market on the single canal, or the Keukenhof, the largest flower garden in the world, where you can see millions of tulips in bloom. One of Amsterdam's most popular attractions is the Anne Frank House, the museum that is located in the former hiding place of Anne Frank, the Jewish girl who wrote a famous diary during the Nazi occupation. You can also visit the Rijksmuseum, the Netherlands' national museum, that houses a collection of Dutch art and history, such as the works of Rembrandt, Vermeer and Steen. And the Van Gogh Museum, that displays the largest collection of paintings and drawings by Vincent van Gogh. It might also surprise you to learn that Amsterdam is supported by millions of wooden poles driven into the ground, as the city is built on swampy land. However, some of these poles are rotting, causing the buildings to sink or tilt. One of the best ways to see the highlights of Amsterdam is by riverboat. The Lord's Canal, or Herengracht, is one of 3 major canals in the center of Amsterdam. With its beautiful Golden Bend section, stately mansions, and inner gardens, it has long been one of the snazziest places to live in the city. Many Amsterdam canal tours glide along Herengracht as well as other scenic canals, showcasing the very best of the city. And if you want to see the tulip fields, the best time to visit is in April or May, when the flowers are in full bloom. Up next, Copenhagen, the capital of Denmark and apparently one of the happiest cities in the world. It's a city that combines the cozy and the cool, the classic and the contemporary, and the royal and the radical. Copenhagen's iconic landmarks include the Little Mermaid, a bronze statue inspired by the Hans Christian Andersen fairy tale, the Tivoli Gardens, the second oldest amusement park in the world, and the Nyhavn, a colourful harbour full of cafes, restaurants, and boats. You can also visit the Old Stock Exchange, a Renaissance building with a spire made of intertwined dragontail, the Christiansborg Palace, the seat of the Danish Parliament, and the Amalienborg Palace, the residence of the royal family, where you can watch the changing of the guard. Also worth visiting is the Rosenborg Castle, the 17th century palace that houses the royal collections and Danish crown jewels. The Christiania, the self-proclaimed autonomous neighbourhood known for its alternative lifestyle. The Copenhagen Opera House, one of the most expensive opera houses ever built. The Round Tower, the oldest functioning observatory in Europe. And the Kronborg Castle, the setting of Shakespeare's Hamlet. Like Amsterdam, Copenhagen is a cycling mecca with more bicycles than cars. Copenhagen also has a giant artificial ski slope on top of a waste-to-energy plant, where you can ski all year round. And if you want to try some of the best food in Copenhagen, you can go to the Torvhallen Market, the indoor market that has more than 60 stalls selling fresh produce, gourmet products, and street food. And if you want to find out how Carlsberg, probably Denmark's most famous export, became one of the biggest names in beer worldwide, taking a trip to the place where it all started. The brewery was first opened in the 1840s, and during a visit here, you can see some of the original beer-making equipment, learn how the drink is made, and enjoy a craft beer tasting. Stockholm, the capital of Sweden, is one of the most scenic cities in Europe and one of my absolute favorite. It's a city that spreads across 14 islands, connected by more than 50 bridges, offering a mix of history, culture, and nature. Stockholm is full of iconic sights, including the Gamla stan, the old town full of medieval buildings, cobbled streets, and Stortorget, the oldest square in the city. Stockholm's islands include Djurgården, an island that hosts many museums and parks. The Södermalm, the trendy and bohemian district, where you can find the hip cafes, bars and shops, and the scenic viewpoint. And the Skeppsholmen, the island that was once a naval base and now a cultural centre, where you can visit the Museum of Modern Art. Stockholm's most popular museums and galleries include the Vasa Museum, displaying the 17th century warship that sank and was salvaged. And my favourite is the ABBA Museum, celebrating the legendary Swedish pop group. You can also visit the Royal Palace, the official residence of the monarch. And if you're looking for some adventure, you can ski at the artificial ski slope in the middle of the city, or kayak the Stockholm Archipelago, a cluster of islands and islets that offer stunning natural scenery. And did you know that Stockholm has the world's first open-air subway art gallery? Many of the metro stations are decorated with paintings, sculptures, and mosaics by various artists, creating a unique experience. If you want to try some of the best food in Stockholm, head to the Östermalm Saluhåll, a food hall that has been operating since 1888, where you will find seafood, cheese, bread, and pastries. And the best place to try the Swedish meatballs is, well, that's a matter of taste, but there's no shortage of choice. Vienna, the capital of Austria, is famous for its rich cultural heritage, stunning architecture, and musical legacy. It's a modern and vibrant city, with plenty of attractions and activities for all kinds of travelers. Let's start with the Schönbrunn Palace, the former summer residence of the Habsburg dynasty, where you can take a tour of the palace, explore the gardens, and visit the zoo. Other must-see sites include St. Stephen's Cathedral, where you can climb up the towers, visit the catacombs, and admire the colourful roof. The Hofburg Imperial Palace, formerly the winter residence of the Austrian royal family, and now a lasting tribute to the glory of the Habsburg Empire. It's one of Vienna's most magnificent Baroque palaces. And Belvedere Palace, built in the 18th century as the summer residence of Prince Eugene of Savoy, another of the many treasures of Vienna's Baroque era. And if you love music, you should not miss the Vienna State Opera House, one of the most prestigious opera houses in the world. Or visit the Vienna Musikverein, the world-famous concert hall, and the home of the Vienna Philharmonic Orchestra. The historic centre is where you'll find Vienna City Hall, Parliament, and the lively Museum Quarter. Also known as the First District or Inner City, the area is rich with Baroque castles and gardens, as well as the 19th century Ringstrasse, a beltway of grand buildings, monuments, and parks that encircles most of the inner city. There are enough landmark sites here to keep you snapping photos all day long. If you have some extra time, you can also take a day trip to Melk Abbey, a stunning Baroque monastery on the Danube River. You can visit the Abbey Church, the library, and the museum, and enjoy the views of the Wachau Valley. Vienna has an excellent public transportation system that includes buses, trams, and underground trains. It's also a very pedestrian-friendly city, and most of the attractions are within walking distance from each other. And did you know the famous French croissant was originally made in Vienna in the 17th century? It was inspired by the crescent symbol on the Ottoman flags, after the Austrians defeated the Turks in a siege, and was brought to France by Marie Antoinette, who was born in Vienna and married King Louis XVI. How cool is that? There's plenty of free things to do in all of the cities I've covered in this video. But before I get to our final city, I promised at the start I'd share with you the best place to book tickets in advance to skip the queues, book guided tours or a boat trip, or even book an excursion. I like to use Viator for booking my travel experiences. It's a great website for pre-booking trips, tours and tickets, and for making sure I don't miss any of the must-see places. They partner with local operators, and because they're backed by TripAdvisor, they're a really reputable company. Plus, they often offer exclusive deals and discounts, and have a lowest price guarantee and 24-hour cancellation policy for extra peace of mind. I've posted a link in the description below where you can find the Viator selector and take a look at what's on offer in whichever city you're visiting. So here we are, our last stop. And I hope you'll agree, I've saved the best till last. Rome, the eternal city and one of the most ancient cities in Europe. It's withstood millennia to dazzle 21st century visitors with ancient ruins, gorgeous squares, and more art than you could ever wish to see. Tours of iconic ruins and ancient monuments, such as the Colosseum, the Pantheon, the Roman Forum, and Palatine Hill, are the first things you'll want to head for. One of the most impressive places to visit is the Vatican City, the smallest sovereign state in the world, where you will marvel at St. Peter's Square and Basilica, the Vatican Museums, and the Sistine Chapel, where you can admire the frescoes by Michelangelo. You'll also want to make time for a visit to Piazza Navona, the elegant square famous for its fountains, and the Trevi Fountain, the largest and most popular in the city, where you can toss a coin and make a wish. Also, don't miss Trastevere, the charming and lively neighborhood full of cafes, restaurants and bars, and where you can feel the authentic Roman spirit. Did you know that Rome has a secret passage that connects the Vatican to the Castel Sant'Angelo, the fortress that was once the mausoleum of Hadrian? The passage was used by the popes to escape in case of danger, and it is now open to the public. Rome can be busy, so the best way to skip the lines is to buy your tickets online, or to use the Roma Pass, a card that gives you access to public transport and some museums. Honestly, the best way to enjoy the beauty of Rome is by walking along the streets, discovering the hidden gems and the stunning views of the city. And if you want to know more about Rome, check out my Rome City Guide video. Link here and in the description below. Well, there you have it. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notified when I upload new videos. With that said, thanks for watching. And until next time, bye for now.